What's happening, guys? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you all. Guys, Bitcoin is in a wedge. We're going to get a move pretty quickly. However, there's a couple of trades that I've just taken right now. So I'm going to give it to you now before I even start the stream. I am preparing for a little bit of a Zcash long. So you guys know that I've been building the 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 account and I've just entered, right? So I was on 72,000. I've just entered a trade right now. So this account I've been making money on, but I've been very patient with my trading, very patient of when I'm getting into trades, and actually trading once or twice a week and timing the market a little bit better. And we can clearly see that over the last 2 days, we've seen a nice little bounce, still a little bit of chop though. And the main thing that I want to speak out with in today's show is trades, right? Where is there money to be made right now? We have Bitcoin in a wedge, and I want to show you guys this over here. Okay, and we are hours away from a big move. Therefore, we break the bottom, we're going to short. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of shorts in options. Why am I long on Zcash? Because Zcash does a little bit opposite of the market right now. Right? When Bitcoin was bullish 2 days back, Zcash was bearish. When Bitcoin's bearish, Zcash is bullish. Right? So that's why for me at the moment, Zcash is showing a little bit of strength. I'm taking a bit of a entry in that position. And I do want to speak around the next big move. Right? We have two options here. Bitcoin's either going to go for that higher low retest that 𝗬𝗏𝗡𝗏 I was speaking about at 83,000, or we are going to the $95,000 squeeze. This wedge is the one that's going to show us which way we are going. So if we decide to go down, I want to make sure we got a bunch of short setups today that we can make some money today, right? For the next few days. Let's make the money to the downside. No problem. Market wants to get bearish again. We make money, right? And if we bounce here, which we definitely can, right? What are we looking for too long to make money to the upside? We are now at this phase where the market is chopping, but at some point it's going to make a big direction. Let's use this range. Let's build up the accounts. Let's get into momentum and let's make money in a market that people feel are just not making any money right now. Let's keep it nice and simple and let's go. So this show is very much around how are we going to make money over the next couple of days. Long, short, doesn't matter, but you need to be prepared. And I'm telling you guys again, I've taken a Zcash long. Okay. I think that there's money to be made on this token today. Okay. And I've only entered, let's see this over here. I've only entered around 20% on my trading account. I'll build a little bit more a little bit later on. Right. 20% of the account. There we go. I'm in the Zcash trade. There's your first trade for today's show. No more wasting time. Where is my button? What's wrong, sir? Am I low?
It's just echoey.
Okay, let's see.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like 𝗧𝗏𝗱𝗏𝗏. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Fam, welcome to Sniper's Technical Issues. Yes, what's up? How are we all doing? Hope you guys are having a great day. So guys, I'm long. Who's long? You're going to be fast in crypto, right? Make sure the timing of the show was perfect. I'm in. There's a chance that if this thing rockets, right, and we get in and we get the things are rocking, and there's another trade, maybe I just leave the stream on until run goes live. Like maybe. But you know how it works. You have to fill the like button galore, okay? And again, I'm not looking for crazy, man. I'm looking for those who are watching right now. Show me that you're here, you're committed. You want us to do these things? Let's go. I'm up. $700. Yes. Yesterday, I did not give away 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 money. Today, I'm giving away 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 money. Right? I was supposed to give it away yesterday. I'm giving it away today. And I might even add some of these winnings into it too. Right? So like up the video, guys. Let's go. So again, what am I doing? I have my long term. I'm waiting for recovery. And I have trading accounts that I'm choosing to trade within this market. Not only is it to grow money in this time, but it's to really grow my knowledge, get into rhythm. When the markets come and bring this crazy money seasons again, I just want to be steps higher than what I've ever been before, right? So I truly went back into the roots of investing is cool, okay? But investing doesn't save my butt when I've lost 90% of my money, right? Trading does. Trading gave me the ability to go to zero multiple times on this journey, to lose a lot multiple times on this journey, and to actually make it back, right? So for me, it's very clear that in this time of this dump, it made realization of, hey, go sharpen the most important skill that you have, the one that can make you recover. That's the big one, right? And then learn from your damn mistakes so you don't put yourself in a hole like this in the future. Okay, that's an important one. But that one comes a little bit with some time. right? In the game, you kind of make those changes. The main thing for me is don't shortcut the actual system, right? Don't shortcut the skill that you are here to do, right? And therefore, I always had this bull mentality, which I still do. You know me, guys, I'm a positive person. So for me, bullish will always be my go-to, right? I don't like to think negative. I have a lot of faith in crypto. I have a lot of faith in specific altcoins. I have a lot of faith in the industry that it's going to reward a lot of us, right? And that won't go anywhere. But I think the power of trading again is just, is it strong? Is it weak? If it's strong, long it. If it's weak, short it. If you're going to make money on this coin, like, you know, it's just getting it straight back to the basics of what it is. So here is the trade, guys. I will not enter this trade higher than $505 because then your risk starts to go out the window. This is why we don't chase pumps, right? We buy into red, we build in red, we do these things in red, right? We don't chase pumps and things like that. The reason is because if we're entering here, there's certain amounts of risk that's been calculated, right? And the moment that we start going higher, your risk just gets more and more and more. So let's quickly speak around this trade before we get into anything else. There's two ways that you're going to do it, right? Or two ways that, again, zero financial advice. I'm trading my own money here, right? But I'm going to teach you the way the mentality is, okay? So there's two ways here. There's a conservative approach and there's an aggressive approach, okay, when it comes to trading. Conservative means you're going to trade a little bit more of the trading capital, because what you've done is you've taken your money now and you've said, this much I want to trade, this much I want to hodl long term, this much I want to trade on spot, right? This is leverage, guys. So remember, when it comes to leverage, an important thing is you don't need a lot of your own money, right? Just the number one rule. You can use as much as money as you want from the exchange, okay? Why must you use a lot of your money? Rather give yourself some lives. So for example, you put $1,000 away for leverage, right? Trade $100 at a time or $200 a time. This is if you want to do the more aggressive approach. The more aggressive approach means you're going to be trading more often, right? In and out, in and out, in and out. You're going to be trading every day. You're going to be ready. You have access to a computer, you have time, a little bit more time. Even though you might be working and doing things, you have a little bit more time to do things. Therefore, you're trading more. Therefore, you're risking more times. Okay, the more you trade, the more you're risking, right? Therefore, you don't need that much money. $100 can get you quite far, right, off of trading $100. Is it working? It's fine.
Yeah, the video is a little bit laggy, but we can hear you fine. It's perfect, yeah.
Okay, well, just listen to my radio voice.
Yeah.
You don't have visuals, you have my voice, baby. My voice is here. Okay, so again, you are a little bit more active. You don't have to trade as much. Remember, your $100 you can make worth $5,000 from leverage, right? You build it up, you do these type of things, okay? So if, for me, on this specific one here, right, I'm going to do the more aggressive approach, okay? The first thing always remember is trade on isolated, because whatever money you have here, you don't want to be affected by the trade, okay? So for example, I've entered on $13,000 capital, but I still have $58,000, okay? And if something went wrong here, like aggressively wrong, right, it won't tap into this money over here. Okay, which is very, I'm not even sharing screen, sorry. Okay, so you can see here, I have 13,000 of my own capital in, okay? And yeah, we have 58,000 that's still available, still free cash that's just sitting over there. Whatever happens here will not affect what happens here. Okay, so isolated gives you that option on any of your exchanges, super important, okay? Then with the more aggressive approach, okay, you could look to build a little bit quicker and have your risk appetite a little bit more. So let's speak about this. The aggressive approach, using less of your money, okay, and you're using a small percentage of your actual trading money. You have $1,000, you're trading with 100, right? So then you got to ask yourself, okay, what are my rules, right? The first rule is take trades where the risk is lower than the reward, right? So meaning you're buying when things have been coming down, you're shorting when things have been going up, right? So that when the trade, if you get stopped out once, you take a loss, that's fine, and you get in again, and the win happens, right? Your win is worth a lot more than what your losses are. So if your losses, for example, on a more aggressive account that I use, I have a risk appetite of around 5 to 7% per trade that I'm risking. Why? Because it's only 10% of my trading money. Okay, so anywhere between a 5 and 10% is what I will risk on the specific trade, right? I just want to see, I'm still seeing a little bit of lag here. I don't know why. Is it fine, Maddie?
Yeah, it's a little with the video, but we can hear you.
It's weird. Okay, so I have that 5 to 10% type of view, right? But it also means that when the win goes in my favor, that must be a 20 or 30% win. right? So that my win is worth 5 losses. Therefore, I can take 1 stop loss, 2 stop loss, 3 stop loss, win, okay? And I'm in the money and I'm in profits, right? So the win-loss ratio is super important to know that you are looking when the risk is a lot lower, okay? Then you need a risk appetite. For me, on my more aggressive accounts, 5 to 10% is my risk appetite. I'm willing to lose 5 to 10% of the money that I put into the trade, okay, over there. If we're going more conservative, which means now I have $1,000 to trade leverage now, I don't have that much time to watch the charts. I don't have that much time to trade too actively, but I can trade once or twice a week, right? Then I would rather trade, okay, $500 off the 1,000. Leave the other 500 as a backup, okay? But with that 500, I got to realize it's more percentage of my account now. Therefore, a 5 to 10% risk amount is a little too much. Okay, so for me, ultimately, 3% is what I would risk on a more conservative strategy. Okay, 3%, okay, if I get stopped, no problem, right? And we're still working on a strong risk to reward. So why am I saying this? If you are using a conservative strategy today, a good stop loss is 490. Okay, where we are right now. Now, that does mean that if you're buying right now, your risk is 2.4%. Which means more conservative, you'll probably enter this on a 2x leverage right now. The moment that we can move the stop loss up, then you can obviously make that a little bit higher. But conservative, I don't have much time right now. Remember, this token is moving big amounts. Don't forget that, right? This thing can go to 550, which is my next target to the upside. That's 10%. So on a 2x, that's 20% on the account, which is very good, right? If I'm doing the more aggressive strategy, the more aggressive, I don't really care. I know I'm going to get stopped out a few times, and I'm good with that, right? So therefore, I can crunch the stop a little bit lower. So why am I going long on Zcash right now? Okay, let's go out of this and just show you guys. So again, I'm explaining the mentality. So when you're looking for any trades, you're looking to make money on a daily basis, you're kind of looking, you know, at a system. So the first system is, where are we right now? Okay, if we take the original trend from the bottom, where are we? Right, you can see where we are. We are literally on the main support. So if this thing's going to turn bullish, it's going to turn bullish from here. Right? If this is going to continue moving the way it's been moving, okay, it's going to very likely move from here. Right? What we also have on the top side is the top trend. And you can see it's like this huge flag that's being formed. So this token is doing these type of moves right now. Right? Very similar. Look at this. Right? Big moves that are in play. And these are very nice big percentages. So the first thing I'm looking at is, can it really bounce here? Right? And if I go to the high time frame trend line, yes, it can. It's actually quite strong. And this is the last line of major support. Okay, so it means that for me, the risk is at its lowest. Because if we lose this trend, as an example, the bottom trend, right? Let's just put it in again. We're going down here. Okay, and if we get it correct, if it goes to the upside, we are going up over here. So either this thing's going to $300 or it's going back to $700, right? Which for me is the perfect time for me to take a long. Why? Because I want to fish here and I want to go for this higher move here. But because we're so close to where I will know that this thing is not going to get there, it's actually bearish, gives me a very good understanding of where to put my risk. Okay, and I always speak about your risk is the lowest when you've already had a lot of downside. Because if you buy here and it goes down, you go into a big loss. But if you're buying after multiple red, okay, and it breaks to the upside, your tight stops, it's the most minimum. You know, if you look at a risk to reward tool, I just want to put this in here. If I'm looking to take the trade, I know we have to bounce here. That's my risk to reward. That's how much I'm risking. That's how much my reward is over there. Now let's look at the other side, okay? And let's take away this piece over here. The reason why I'm explaining is we're already in the trade, right, guys? Those who are in. Remember, we've just went long on Zcash. I'm not buying more than $505. Conservative, stop loss, 490. More aggressive stop loss, 495. Okay, we got it. Amazing. Now, if I enter something like this, first, I have to put a stop loss under the big trends. So let's just put this in here. Okay. And my reward, yes, can be up there, but look at that risk, guys. Look at the difference between buying something that's been coming down. So as an example, when this broke out of this trend, okay, it's quite clear where I'm going to put my stop loss, right? If we buy over here, it's quite clear, okay, I am going to put my stop loss under the low. So there, and let's put my stop loss in over there. Where are we going to go to from here? So there's my buy. There's my stop. Where are we going to go to from here? Two choices. To the mid-range, which, what does that mean? The middle of where we've just come down, okay? Or to the top again, right? But look how strong your green is versus your red, right? That's why today, for me, if it's a make or break, I love entering on these areas where if we lose this, we go into 300. If we get this right, it's 700. But it gives me a very clear understanding of where to protect my risk, okay? And where to know where I'm fighting here, right? Type of thing. And this is how you get strong rally once to the upside, because if you catch an entire wave like this is very big. Right? This is a good 50, 60% without leverage, okay? So going back over here, we got a reason of where we can bounce, okay? We know that this is the last line of support. I've just done my higher time frame analysis. Now remove all of that and I zoom in and I say, okay, what are we doing right now, right? First thing is we broke down, okay? We then pushed up. And now we're looking at a higher low. Now, when we broke out of this, we saw strength to the upside. Now we're clearly coming for a retest. But I'm not sure that this is the bottom yet, right? How do we know that it's going to do this? Right? Is I track this trend over here. I track the momentum to the downside. And as you can see, we're just popping our head through. Therefore, for me, this is the buy area of where I want to buy. I don't want to buy up here. I don't want to buy up here. Right? Specifically leverage. I want to enter over here. Okay. Then what I want to do is, again, two stop loss options. So what I do is I'll use Fibonacci quickly. Okay. So the first one is under this low. We've broken trend. We shouldn't come back. 495. That's how I got to the more aggressive approach. Okay. Stop loss. More conservative under this Fibonacci here at 490. Now, why am I saying that? Because sometimes this pattern, I am not predicting, but I'm seeing right now is a wedge pattern, right? Is us basically, and this is known as a bullish pattern. So it's a pattern that I want to see, right? But we're basically leaning to the downside. But sometimes, okay, the pattern may be something different, okay? And what I mean is it needs a little bit more time. So if this is the pattern, and what I think will happen here is we should start pushing up quite aggressively. We went up, we made a pattern, and we pushed up. But what happens if this pattern is a little bit longer? And what I mean by that is, what happens if this pattern is actually something like this? Right? It's a little bit longer than what we think. That's why for me, as an aggressive approach, I'm putting a tight stop. Because if we decide to drop and do this more sideways here, right, I know that I can catch and build and get an even better entry than what I have right now. Here's my first entry. I don't mind losing 3%, 5% on an aggressive entry if I'm going to get a better entry, right? It's the more aggressive approach. But for the more conservative approach, I don't want to waste my time and get started. I don't have time, right? I'm very busy, okay? So then we give it a little bit more space. And we give it exactly where we don't want to lose. If we lose this area, price is going down a lot, okay? And therefore, for me, that's why I go and I put in the more space between my stop loss, and that's the more conservative. Okay, so I'm just following through. The next thing that's important as well, guys, is the closing candle. So I've gone into the 1 hour and I'm buying this off of the 1 hour. I want to make some money today, right? You know, I haven't been in this account, haven't been trading this account much for the last few days. I want to make some cash again. Okay, therefore, this closing candle is going to be quite important. If it goes red and closes below here, okay, it's a little bit of a warning sign. Keep that stop nice and tight, because I think a lot of the times when we're in trades, we think of changing our stop losses and our ideas and things like that. One thing I'm telling you all right now, I will not move this stop loss now. The more I move it, the more I play with it, the more I'm kind of thinking, I've made my decision. I'm in. I know if I get stopped here, I know I'm getting a better entry. It might be the big collapse, right? That happens there as well. So the key here is not to stop. But what I want to see here, I want to see the candle. If we close outside, that's very good. Okay. If we close like we are exactly right now, it's also very good, right? The main thing is I want to see a green candle close here. Okay. If the green candle close comes into play, it gives me that little bit more confidence. As we start to break up, I'll very likely start to move the stop loss up over here too. Again, I'll explain more tomorrow as the trade plays out. Okay, but this is where I'm at. This is the trade that I'm looking to take right now. Now I want to go through Bitcoin, and again, just want to show you guys. I'm trading $13,000 out of $73,000. To give you an idea of the percentage of money that I'm trading right now, right? It's a very low percentage. Why am I not all in type of thing? Firstly, the token's quite volatile. Secondly, Bitcoin is not looking great right now, right? If we look at the last couple of hours, we're seeing nice 3 strong red candles here too. So I got to keep that in mind. Okay, maybe this can ruin or slow down the Zcash trade that we're getting ready for, but I must keep this in mind. But the next thing as well to also realize is, okay, but Bitcoin's also coming into support. So if Zcash is just starting to break out now, and we do bounce here, very likely our trade will play out correctly, okay? But if this drops here and Zcash drops down, stop out. I'd rather be out right now, give it a bit more time, wait for the next setup to go. So the way for Bitcoin for me is we are sitting between 2 big areas. The first one is the 83 to the 84. This is if we want to do the W pattern that I spoke about. Drop, W, go. That is still an option. This market is not going to get going soon. It's going to go down again to go get buying liquidity because it means people are not buying here right now. Therefore, the buyers are sitting down lower. Okay, this wedge should help us know that, right? That if we start losing and Bitcoin starts to lose 86,000, okay, it's very likely that that is the play that's going to happen. Okay, so that's the bearish scenario for the day. The bullish scenario is we bounce and we start breaking out in those areas over there. If that's so, remember, there is tons of liquidity sitting at 97,000, 98,000. So there is a short squeeze coming. Okay, there's no doubt about it. The short squeeze is coming. The important thing here is we don't want to blow ourselves up before the short squeeze happens. Okay, so maybe Bitcoin does want to go get low liquidity before it does the major short squeeze. We must keep that in mind. That's why for today, if I'm looking to trade, I'm entering the Zcash trade. If I get stopped, it's very likely I'm only trading in the next 12 hours to 24 hours. This is the trade right now. Okay, now let's speak about if we want to start shorting. If we want to start shorting, the shorting will come once the first move has happened, right? So for me to short right now, I'm kind of pre-jumping it, and I must be careful about that, okay? So let's think now, let this drop. Confirm to me, you're going to lose 86,000. You're going to 85. Show me the move first before I'm going to make the decision, okay? Which means let it drop, let it test, let it drop. Therefore, my shorts will be over here. This is the non-prediction approach, right? So to go through here, zoom in again, prove to me that you are bearish first, because there's nothing stopping you right now from going here, up there. We are still in the wedge, okay? But if you drop, you test and you drop, remember the testing does happen most of the time. That is where I'm going to short. That is where my next trades are setting up. So right now it's either the Zcash long or the shorts, but everything, the next trades are in the next 12 hours to 24 hours, right? You see what I'm saying here? It's all about just explaining and going through the whole process. There will be money to be made. If it's short to the downside, we are going to short it and make money, right? But I can't pre-jump that just yet. So what am I doing? I'm looking at a token that has had a lot of downside, okay? I'm looking at the RSIs. Let's actually have a look at Zcash's RSIs. I did look at it yesterday. I've been tracking this. This is why I'm bringing it to you guys now, because I've been waiting for another trade. Look at the daily stocks. Look where we are, where we're fishing. Right? So that is what I'm paying attention to right now. Okay, I'm trading a token that makes sense. Why not Solana? Why not any of them? Because where am I going to long Solana right now? How does this make sense? This coin has already gone up from 23 to 38. Now we're at 36. Okay, I can try long here and predict we're going to go up, right? But we're not breaking any top trends. We're not doing anything right now. So why am I going to waste my time on a maybe I'm going to win? Right? What makes the most sense? Therefore, when I go through all of these charts here, right, if I look at example Cardano, remember, all the market's doing is chopping. And to be honest, when it's done with this, it's probably very likely it is going to pop. But this can be 2-3 days. And let's be ready for when that happens. But if I look at it right now, where am I going to long this thing? right? Where am I going to kind of do it? If I draw the top trend, we are hours away from a breakout to the top. Okay, we are quite far still from support. So I feel like this is very much a gambler's mentality. So will I trade Cardano today? Probably not. Okay, even though I love trading Cardano, when will I trade it? In a couple of days when it's made up its mind. Which way are you going? You're going up or down? Going down, I'll short you. Going up or go up. But at least I know what you're doing. Right now, I don't know what you're doing. Therefore, not the coin that I want to make my $50 for today. A lot of you have started this journey because you want to make some money every day, and eventually you want this to be a career that you can live on, right? Let's start it in this momentum over here, okay? You have millions of coins to choose from here, right? Which one? For me, the one that makes the most sense. The one that, for me, if I look at where we are with Zcash right now, first, it is one of the hotter tokens in the market, okay? But secondly, I kind of have an understanding of what it's doing. Right? It's kind of a clear pattern that I'm seeing. I have an understanding of where to protect myself. Okay. I know the importance of where we're at right now. Okay. And I know how to trade this right now. So therefore, for me, this will be the token that I would choose. As I go down the rest, you know, this one's not too bad, which is AVAX. Let's just pop this through here. AVAX is not too bad. So if we put in this top trend here, not too bad. This is hours away from a breakout. Okay, or a push down. We'll see. But if this breaks out in the next few hours, there's a trade for you, right? So there's another token that kind of makes sense, right? If I look at Dogecoin, where's Dogecoin right now? Okay, still hours away from the trend. Doesn't mean I'm not trading it. It just means when I'm done with Zcash, I can move to Doge, right? And I can move down, move down, move down. So again, it just comes down to the what makes sense and where are you going to most likely win. Right? If I look at the two, again, I could lose on the Zcash trade, but I know where I'm losing and I know how big the drop's going to be after. You know, if I'm fishing at $500 now, but I get stopped out for a 5% loss and I get to buy it at $350, right? I'm very happy with that trade because I know when I buy it at $350 what that actually looks like worth, right? Versus me with Solana right now, are we going to go up? Are we going to go down? Right? I don't really know. Right? I could sit and say, okay, I'll try enter here, and if it goes wrong, I'll enter more down over here. But I just feel you're not getting yourself into good habits of winning. It's more guessing, right, than actually trading what the chart is doing or how things are kind of working. Right? Another token to pay attention to. Let's see how Dash is looking. I want to look for a couple of trades here, see how things are going. Get the likes up, guys. I'm about to give away some money. You know what? Let's do it now. So who has money in 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and is using my account? I'm sending $2,000, right? So I'm sending $250 to 5 people. If you have deposited, okay, I will double it to make it $500. So what I want is I want you to put your user IDs. Don't put your email with it. Only your user ID. Please do not put your email and user ID, right? Your user ID for 𝗏𝗏𝗏, right? You go to your information section, your profile, go see your user ID, go copy it and put it in the chat, as that is where we are going to deposit the money. We're going to put the money into your 𝗏𝗏𝗏 account, go withdraw it, go do whatever you want. To be honest, it's my money that I've been sitting and trading for. So it's real USDT. You do whatever you want to do with it. No problem, right? Your choice. Remember, before I do that, guys, join Sniper Club. With that same link, you're going to get into a free club that we are starting to distribute right now. People are starting to get let into the new Sniper Club. Black Friday came and we said there's no better special in this world than going free, right? We've gone free. Thousands of people in the community, okay? Incredible people, incredible mentors, just a lot of trading signals, this, that, just a lot of things everywhere, right? Join that over there. Okay, let's go. Nice to see you, Hugo. You've been here for a long time, brother. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Very cool. Okay, so let's go. Who wants $500 or $250? $250 if you deposited $500. Again, I'm giving away more money tomorrow. Go and open up a 𝗏𝗏𝗏 account. This is where I'm giving away and the money we dropped in your 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Okay, let's go, Maddie. Let me go through here. Let's see. User IDs. Okay, Mark. You get $250. If you have deposited, you will get $500, sir. Okay, let's go up. Don't want money. I want a Bitfunder. Please give this guy a Bitfunder there, Maddie. No problem, brother. You get a Bitfunded account. Okay, let's go up. Let's go see. Let's go see. Wow. Okay, they're flying in here now. They're flying in here. They're flying in. Good thing. How are you, Sheldon? I'll answer this in a second. Thank you for asking. Yes. Euless, if I'm saying this right, $250. If you have deposited $500, can I please have a female? Any ladies in the house using Blowfin? And then we'll choose. I see this man's logo everywhere. I'm going to choose him. One more over here. I am Red Sebastian. You get $250. 500 if you have deposited. Female. You know me. I'm a mommy's boy. Females are, we need to give love. Where are they?
I think I have one, yeah.
Okay, show me. Chelsea Brown. You get $250 if you have deposited. You get $500. Incredible. Nice. Let's jump back in. Let's see where we are at right now. So let's go through the Zcash trade. Where are we? Okay, so guys, as this plays out now, we're waiting, right? Basically waiting on Bitcoin. You can see that quite clearly. But I do like the candle that we are forming on the 1 hour so far. Right, so far, I think this is good. And it's telling me that the next hour candle is going to be green. Okay, so it's telling me keep the stop under here. Trade's still looking good. Okay, if I go to the 15 minutes, it did tell me this next candle is going to start off red first, but we should see this turn green in this candle. And so far, things are looking good. However, okay, so candles have been something that has been helping me a lot with my trading lately. Right, I literally spoke to the guys yesterday. I'm like, I don't know if I want to get in this, if I want to get out of my trade. Maybe it's going to reverse. I'm in profits. You guys all know I was short on Zcash, actually. I was shorted. So I made a bunch of money on a short. But then I was looking, I'm like, no, but the 4 hour candle is still telling me a story that the next candle is going to be this. I held the trade a little bit longer and ended up making another 30-40%. Right? So candles are helping me quite a bit. The 1 hour is telling me here, next one's pretty good. But the 4 hours telling me a different story. The 4 hours telling me, okay, that okay, right now it's looking pretty good, but we do want to see this candle doji or turn green in 1 hour and 13 minutes. Okay, if not, it means that the next candle, the 4 hour candle, will start off red. Right, so it's giving me a bit of an idea, not to say that my trade's incorrect, but hey, this thing might take like 5 hours for it to go up. It's just going to hover and shift around here. So keep a bit busy, right? Keep your alerts on, these type of things. Okay, but it's also telling me that the next hour we could definitely see this token wake up. And if that's so, and it does wake up, right, we're then looking for a strong push to the upside. Where is take profits on this trade? Let me show you guys mid-range. So mid-range over here, $540 will be the TP levels. Okay, this thing dropping a bit. Let's see here. Okay, so this candle's starting to get red. I'll actually stay for this candle close because I think it's important to go through this together. Over here. Okay, so I went for the more conservative. I'm not trading with all my capital, right? So 490 is my stop. I have a more aggressive account on my phone. Let's see where this stop loss one is. Okay, this one's at 490 as well. So let's go through here. 26. Sorry, I'm just entering some more trades here on the side. My more aggressive accounts. Okay, 490. This is very much also around Bitcoin at the moment, 490. Cool. Okay, so both my stop loss at 490. I'm not fully in. This account is a $38,000 account, and I am in with $11,000. Giving it a bit of space. Right, giving it a bit of space. Guys, you guys, I think some live tradings will be fun again. I think it'll be a lot of fun for us to trade the market together. Okay, so I just want to do a couple more things here on Zcash. Okay, so 618, we're just below 786. So this can come to 91.92. It can. We must keep that in mind. That's why I think the stop loss of 490 is the better option right now. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. It did have a little bounce on there. Cool. So guys, for me, in the next 24 hours, we're going to see a big move. Okay, in the next couple of week or two, we'll see the bigger move. But what we're preparing for is the short squeeze for up to the $90 range. Guys, remember, Rolex giveaway on BDCC users. Anyone that has BDCC, I will be giving away a Rolex on Monday. Monday, right? You have to open up accounts and deposits, right? And we'll be giving away a Rolex, right? Very cool. Very cool over there. Okay, guys. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Okay, so that's the candle. Cool, guys. I'm happy with the trade. The only update that I'm telling you guys now is both of my accounts, I'm only in 30% on them, and my stop loss is at 490. That for me is the safer stop loss than the one under the previous low. Okay, so 490 is my stop loss. I will not buy this token more than 505. Do me a favor, when you're considering how much should I get into the trade, look at where you're about to buy it, drag a percentage meter to where you're going to put a stop loss, and then work out your leverage. If it's a more aggressive approach where you don't mind losing 5% of this account because you have a lot of backup cash. Okay, and I'm not saying a lot of cash. I'm just saying if you put $100 to leverage and you're trading $10 right now, you can use a 10% risk appetite. Okay, that means this will be in a 4x entry. If it comes down lower, this is where you mustn't be afraid. Okay, it's going to take you a little bit of time, but it's fine. Let's say price down, because I saw the beginning of the show, right? We're here now where we still are, breaking out the trend. Many get excited to buy, right? Get excited to buy, right? Then let's say this candle now turns red and goes down here. How many people are then afraid, are excited to buy? Not many, right? They get a little bit more worried. They get a little bit more scared, right? Where I want to tell you this, you need to change that mentality. The reason is right now, if I enter, I can easily enter on a 3-4x, for example, right? But if price goes down over here, and it's here now, okay, and I enter, I can now enter this on a 7 or 8x, right? So it gets nerve-wracking, but what you don't realize is as price comes lower down, and we know there's a lot of support here in these areas, you can make your positions bigger for the same amount of risk. If I buy here, I can go on a 3x. If I buy here, I can go on an 8x. But both of them are equivalent to only losing 5% on the trade, right? So again, if this starts to dip down here, and you're only watching the show a little bit later and getting in now, hey, don't be afraid. Don't allow redness to change your mind and change your thought, right? Very, very, that's why I'm only in 30%. Because if we go down here to this and then it decides, so let me paint the picture here for you, right? This is a little bit more advanced. I'm not going to go too advanced here, but let's say this drops now and goes here and then starts to break the trend. I might even close my position and reopen it here with a little bit higher leverage, put a tight stop over here, okay? Or I'll just add a little bit more to the position, all depending on my risk appetite. All right, but don't allow yourself to be feared if things start turning here and go, you've made your decision, stick to it. Confidence. Yes, risk management, but confidence. Then there's a question, how are you doing, Sheldon? I'm good. I'm just figuring shit out. There's a lot going on in the back end. You know, I'm moving over channels. We're discovering what does that look like. I'm moving house at the moment. There's just so much things going on. But I'm so pumped. I'm so proud of Club. I'm so proud of where everything's going. And the best thing I can just do is just keep showing up and going step by step. That's the best thing. You know, I know where I want to go. I know where things are going to happen. I don't have all the answers right now. I'm figuring it all out. But I know I'm not going to quit. I'm happy. I'm grateful for my life. And I'm just going to keep taking steps forward. And we'll look back and we'll be proud of where we are in the future. But for now, it's grind stage and get through it all. Love you guys lots. Have a great day. See you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.